I'm RJ Gottlieb. I've been the driver of Big Red Camaro since 1987. Big Red is the fastest 69 Camaro in the world. With 2,000 horsepower, this beast is ready to dominate the road.
Dave, how's it going? I brought the boss.
How you doing, Dan? RJ and Dan came by today. It was really nice to see them, checking out the car. They had never seen the car down this far other than when it was first built, because it really hasn't been down this far since it was first built. It's just a shell now.
Something I really wanted to do was bring my dad down to the shop while we were doing this rebuild. I thought it's just really important for him to see it after all these years and what we're doing with it today and how we're keeping it relevant. At the time they were building this car, I was 17. I loved cars, I loved racing, I loved everything we were doing, but those ideas didn't come from me. I was too much of a kid at the time. And it was really my dad whose inspiration and dreams and ideas of what we could do with the car that really made the car what it is today. The heart and soul of what the car was, the term Big Red, the idea to put the number 1 on the side of the car, this all came from this guy right here. So are you gonna strip everything down and
yeah, we're gonna have it
powder coated and
yep.
all that kind of stuff?
Yep.
So where are all the parts?
Shells?
For me, it's a little scary seeing the car totally stripped down to just a bucket of metal parts. Really never seen it that way since the time it was being built by Bill Osborne. And back then, you know, we didn't know what to expect. But now it's Big Red, it's a car that's a part of me, it's a car that's known. And my guys come in, they take all the parts apart, they lay them out on a shelf, and at what point do you have Big Red, and at what point do you just have a pile of metal parts? That's part of the magic. You know, cars are just a bunch of metal parts, but put together the right way, with the right dream, and pushed to the edge at the right places, it can take on a life of its own. It's a big moment. It's a real milestone for this car, you know. Almost 30 years of running, totally taken down, and most race cars this old don't get put back together again.
If they do, they get just put in a museum and not run anymore. We're taking it out, we want to go faster.
That's what this car is all about, man. It was built to run, not to sit in a museum.
We've taken the car apart as far as we can take it, and it's on the flatbed now, going to the blaster, and when we get it back, there won't be any paint on it, and we'll be able to check out for cracks and stress.
Previewing Pikes Peak in the rental car was great. I got to see it firsthand, but it wasn't enough. Doing it in one lane and doing it slowly just doesn't give me the knowledge of the course that I really need. So we looked around the country and tried to find a simulator.
Pikes Peak is probably the only event where there's simply no time to ever run the course except for the day of the race itself. This is a great opportunity to be able to come to a facility like this where they actually have the course programmed. He's got me in a Toyota GT. It's definitely going to be a different feel than Big Red's going to be, but I don't see that as much of an issue. I'm comfortable with Big Red and how it handles, and I feel like the missing part for me is the knowledge of the road. All right, here we go. Amazing. I mean, it's really bizarre. You know what I mean? You know, I understand what they mean by a simulator now. That it's something that you really got to work into. It's not a video game. It's not race car driving. It's something in between. It's a very immersive experience. It's an odd experience, and it's something you have to get used to. I definitely feel like I'm starting to learn the first part of Pikes Peak. Not only does it make the race less risky, but it also makes me faster because you know what's around the next turn. When you drive a closed circuit track, I mean, you know the entire thing like the back of your hand, whether it's a bump in some turn or a crack in some other part of the course. On these long road races, it's hard to get that kind of knowledge of the whole road. The simulator definitely allows me to use the whole road, allows me to really learn the turns, think about the course without taking a rental car and driving it only a couple of times because it takes so much time to do it. Here I can do the course over and over again. But certainly, once I really get up to speed on the simulator, the next step will have to be taking Big Red out on the real race course. There's no replacement for that. But I think what we're doing now is as close as you can get without actually doing it.
Want more adrenaline-fueled action? Then hit the like, follow, and subscribe button. Well, come join us for heart-pounding thrills and high-speed excitement.